This is a beginner's introduction to drawing lips, and it uses a method of using joined circles to give you the shape of the lips, and then we'll work on shading the lips a little to give them that fullness and more realistic roundness. There's several ways that you can do the circles, but we're going to start with a circle on top. And remember, it should be very lightly done so that you can easily erase. Then we're going to go 2 circles, joined circles, for the bottom lip. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go right through. So I'm going to have a line that comes through. I'm working on the middle of the lips right now. And it's just going to kind of follow that bottom circle to give you how the lip dips down a little bit. And then the bottom lip is just going to wrap. It's going to start over here and wrap right around those 2 circles. So the bigger the circles you do, the bigger the lip. If you want smaller lips, do smaller circles. And then at the top, you're going to go up for the Cupid's bow, and you're going to come down when you're right around the circle there, so that the Cupid's bow meets the middle of that circle, and then it comes up again. And again, how big, this is the Cupid's bow. How big you want that is up to you depending on the lips you're doing. So if you don't want it very big, don't do it very big. These are some pretty full lips. I could go smaller, but I'm going to leave it like that for now. And this just gives you the general outline, and then you can erase the circles to see what you have and decide if you want to make things smaller or adjust things. It's just a basic outline. So this lip area dips down too far because I went right with the circle, so I'm just going to move it up a little bit. So that it's just dipping a little bit. Now I'm going to start to shade. So you want to make sure you're going to go a little darker towards the exterior of the lips and a little lighter toward the center. And also I want to make sure I'm doing roundness, so or giving roundness. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start shading. You could use the side of your pencil if you feel more comfortable, or hold it like you do when you write, except you want to make sure that you're coloring lightly to begin with, and then you can always build up. And you'll notice that I'm coloring with a kind of like coloring in an arch, not straight. So on this side, I'm going with like a C shape. And on this side, I'm going with like a backwards C, so that I have that roundness happening, giving the illusion that there's some roundness. And I colored light all the way across, and I'm going to go in and add a little darkness and maybe remove a little from the center to give kind of a highlight. So right now I just have a kind of round feeling. I can go in and blend that a little bit to smooth it out. And I'm going to go ahead and darken up the edges and clean up some things real quick. Why don't I go ahead and do that to the top lip too? So I'm going to go with the same C-shape coloring. Or shading. And then the opposite backwards C going the other way. And blend it in. And I want to go ahead and start to darken it up a little, so I'm going to come in and darken up from the corners. Right about till where I'm going to gradually get just a little bit lighter so that I can give kind of a reflection on the lip. So I'm stopping about here, and I'm going to start a little ways away and start out lightly and then go to darker on this side too with my backwards C. I'm darkening up that line, the line between the lips a little bit too. And I'm just going to blend it again. And I'm actually going to remove just a little bit of the shading that I did here. It's kind of like that optical illusion artwork we did where we left that reflection in the middle. So it's just going to be a little bit lighter in the middle. I'm going to do the same thing at the top. And I need to go in and darken up that lip crease again a lot, because you should be able to see that. And I also want to go in and add a little more texture to the lips to make it more realistic. I can go in also at the ends here, and you can kind of add a little shading to give the effect maybe that the lips are smiling. You can do that or you can not do that, it's up to you. And you do want to clean up the edges. You don't want to have this coloring outside. You need to really smooth everything out, either with your pencil or your eraser. Erase things or add things. And to add a little more texture into it, I might go in and add some lines like this. Very lightly, because you can always add more if you need to. And you can blend them in a little so they're not so harsh. Those can be done from here. They can also be done coming up this way. I don't like those ones, so I'm going to erase them and reshade that back in. Don't go too crazy with those lines. You don't want to look like you have spiders on your lips. It's just to add a little texture, so go really light with those. So there's just kind of a general introduction to drawing lips with a little bit of texture and a little bit of shading. And that's just a closed mouth. If you want to do an open mouth, we'll just have to work on that. All right, so there we go.